Hey ladies, I'm going to try to show you real quick, as quickly as I can, the fastest, easiest, most uniform way to make a paper fan. After 18 fans, I've had a little bit of trial and error, so I've kind of figured it out. You're going to need 3 pieces of the same, or I guess you could do different colors, scrapbook paper in cardstock. You're going to need a size 12 by 12 or 8 by 11. Okay, so once you have, this is a 12 by 12. Once you have your piece of scrapbook paper, your first step is going to be to fold directly in half. You're going to want to make sure your lines meet up just perfect. So let me show you, meets there, and you're going to fold right in half. Then your next step, unfolds, bottom piece of paper, meet to the middle. No ma'am, Vivi. So you will meet it right at that crease that you just created. This is what makes it so easy, is that you have a line to match. Nice and straight too. Then you're going to do that. Then you're going to take the top piece and you're going to meet it directly in the middle also. Your most important job is to basically make sure you're making everything meet just nice and clean.
Mommy.
Yes, honey. All right, floss your teeth. Floss your teeth in. So now you have a book. Now you're going to take this piece and you're going to meet it directly right here. Just like that. Make sure everything meets up nice and straight. And create your crease.
No, it's gonna have to get a piece.
Okay, give me just a moment. Let me finish doing this and I'll get you a piece of floss, okay?
Okay.
Then same exact thing right here. Take your piece, fold it down to right here. Make sure it meets up nice and straight. Create your crease. And I kind of just guide this to make sure it meets perfectly at the corner. And create that crease. Yep. And I'll do the same thing. Just make sure everything meets up nice and straight. That's what's going to make it uniform, and that's the most important part, so that all 3 of the pieces you're going to make fit nicely together. So now you have a little book. Now you're going to flip it over. Here's your center crease you created in the first step. You're going to take the bottom and you're going to meet it at that center. Just like that. And same thing with this piece. Meet it right there.
I sit right here, babe. Not you.
So now you have a tiny book. Now flip it right back over. You've already created this crease. Just fold it. And now you have a piece of accordion paper. So if you like this size, this is going to create a nice, thick, wide fan. You can move on to the next step if you like this size. And that next step would be to make sure that you are working with this side up that has finished edges. 4 finished edges. If you flipped it over, you'd see you have 3 finished edges and raw and raw. You do not want to be working with this side. You want to be working with this side. So once you make sure you have this side, your next step, I just grab it in the center. And Ethan, please do not hit. That's not nice. Ethan, please do not hit. Okay, step back, please. That was not nice. You want to make sure that these pieces meet nice and even. Just like that. So that it's nice and uniform with these. So once you make sure they're like that, I just kind of go down, down, down. And I kind of smoosh. And now you have this. Once you have it folded, your next step is to secure it. You can use either a piece of double-sided tape or a hot glue gun. One moment. Alrighty, as I was saying, your next step would be to secure your fan together where you have it in half. And you can do double-sided tape or hot glue. I recommend hot glue. I worked with double-sided tape first and didn't hold as well as hot glue. So take your hot glue gun and you will take, as you see, open. And you're just gonna make, what I do is I just make a line here, and I make a line here, and I go here, and here. And then, before the glue dries, I take my finished edge and I push it, make sure these match up just perfectly, and I just mush, excuse me, Vivi Bell, all the way down, mush, 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 and I turn it around, and then mush the other side, that's good, and then you have this. I didn't get enough glue right there, but that's okay. And you will repeat that 2 more times. The folding in half, and the gluing. And you will end up with 3 fans. So once you have 3 complete fans, you're gonna take one side and you're gonna go on the side, and you're just gonna do the same thing with the glue. Just line the edges. Take another fan with your complete sides up, no raw edges, complete sides up. Match them together. And mush. Make sure everything lines up nice and uniform. And mush, mush, mush. Mush in the back too. So now you have this. You're just gluing 2 pieces together with the finished sides, not the raw sides, finished sides up. And then you'll go on this side, or either side really. Just go on the side that needs a fan glued to it. Line it with some glue. Take your 3rd fan, make sure the sides match. Finish sides up and match it up again. And mush. Mush, mush, mush. Both sides. I mush both sides. So now you have this. And then you're just gonna put glue right here and meet them together. Okay, so I'm gonna put some glue. Glue. Make sure these match up nice and uniform. And mush. Mush, mush, mush. And then you have your fan. Ta-da! Nice and uniform. So I'm going to show you real quick how to do a thinner one. You see how these are really thick and wide? I will quickly show you how to fold it accordion style to make a thinner one. So if you would like a little bit of a thinner fan rather than that thicker fan we just made, you would follow the same first steps as you did earlier. You would fold in half and, you know, on, and you would have this. And then your next step before folding in half would be to take that raw edge and you're just gonna meet it right here. Just like that. And I follow along and make sure that everything's staying nice and in line. This is, again, the most important part so that it stays uniform. So then you have this. And then you're going to take it. Sorry, you have this. Then you want this piece to be folded in half. So basically we folded that first piece in half and then you want this piece folded in half. So you would just take this and you would meet to that crease. Just like that. So essentially, you're folding all of the bigger pieces in half. And then you would go back the other way. So you're already gonna have a crease here from the big half. And you would just fold on that crease. And then you want this big piece in half. So I think you can get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm just folding the bigger pieces in half. Then you're already gonna have a crease there. Just fold it. Flip it back over, and you want this big piece in half and just meet at the line. That's what's so great about pre-folding, is that you have lines to match up to, and that is what makes it uniform. So then you will already have a crease here, and you'll notice sometimes every other one, the crease will be in the opposite way. So like the crease right here that was already there is actually this way, but that's not right. You just go over that crease and fold it back the other way. And then you have another big piece that you want in half, meet at that line. I hope this makes sense. This part is a little confusing. I tried filming it once already and I was like, that is so confusing to people. And then you will already have a crease there. Just fold on that crease and then flip it over. You want this in half. Get in there. So as you can see, this makes a much thinner version. You already have a crease there. That's the opposite way. That's okay. Just fold on that crease the right way.
Mama.
Baby.
Mama.
Baby. Flip it back over. You have a fatter piece that you want in half. You already have a line there going the right way. Fold on it, and then your very last piece to fold in half, meet it right up there. Baby, back up please. I'm doing this with the kids and it's just like, why did I do this? So meeting it right there. Oh, hey, look. Thank you, my dear. So now you have this, rather than that really, really thick. So your next step would just be to do it in half again, like the last time. Make sure that you have your finished sides up, not your raw sides. So you would just fold it in half. Make sure that these little guys meet just nice and perfectly. And you just go down, down, down. One step I want to share with you is when you do this really thin version, you'll notice sometimes you have a big gap right there that you need to smush together. It's okay to mush right here like this, but don't mush up here like this. Because if you see when you start mushing like that, it starts bending everything. And if you push really hard, you will create a bunch of creases and your fan will look like this. So you don't want to do that. You want to be very gentle. The best thing to do is to start up here and mush down. And if you have a big gap right here, just mush right here. Don't go up any higher than that. So then you would hot glue this together, do 2 more, and then you would just connect them all like you did previously, and you will have a much thinner fan. I like to do a couple different versions. So I wanted to show you really, really quickly another size. So the first one was a 12 by 12 sheet and folded in, pretty good sized. And the second one I showed you was a 12 by 12 sheet that was folded much thinner. And so you're gonna get really big fans by using a 12 by 12 sheet. You could do the exact same thing with an 8 by 11 and you would just get the same look depending on how thick you went, but a smaller version. And now I wanna show you how to make a tiny little fan. So you would do the exact same steps. You could fold thick, you could fold thin, and then you would have, I'm doing with a thin one that I already folded, just like this. So you want a small one. So you would fold it in half like you did earlier, like you're moving on to the next step. and I creased it all the way down. And this is just to find my middle marker. So you see, as I was talking about earlier, it kind of has a gap there. So I just kind of mesh around. So once you found your center, you're going to take some scissors and you're going to cut this directly in half rather than gluing. So now you have two pieces. You're going to do the exact same fold as you did before. So finish sides up, fold directly in half. You would glue these and then take your other side, fold in half, and you would glue these. And then you sometimes, because these are so little, you would have to glue these little pieces together, these little pieces together, these little pieces together, so that they don't do this and stay like this. Then once you have those glued like that, you're just gonna connect these two and glue, put glue all down here and just glue them directly together. And then you have a tiny little adorable fan. So let me show you real quick all the different sizes that these would make. Here's the very first one we created with a 12 by 12 folding in the large folds. You're going to get this size. Vivian, no ma'am, baby. With a 12 by 12 folding in the thinner style that I showed you, you would get this. So let me show you the difference. Both pretty big, but thicker, thinner look. So if you were to do these styles, either of these styles with an 8 by 11, this is in the thicker look. The 8 by 11 is gonna give you this size. So difference here with the thick look, pretty big difference. If you do the where you cut in half, and you can do that thick or thin, you are going to get this size. So let me show you. I hear you, honey, one moment. The three different sizes. 12 by 12, 8 by 11, and you can do the cut in half with a 12 by 12 or an 8 by 11 and get a small one. And there you go. I really hope that was helpful and not confusing. If you have any questions, please ask me. I am pretty sure I can answer them. So yeah, I hope that helped. All right, see ya.